So to kick things off, we did want to just kind of give ourselves a little shout out and just let you guys know that we have covered quite a few of the bigger titles that were nominated for this year's awards, right, Laura?
Yeah, so we covered The Last of Us Season 2, and then as well, we covered The White Lotus Season 3. So those were back in the spring and the early summer, and you can catch all of those episodes either on our podcast feed or over on YouTube, where we are at What the Hype Podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we definitely have plans to cover some other stuff that was nominated as well. I think one of the nice things about the Emmys is obviously it's just it's a taste of what gets made every year, right?
Yeah.
But it does remind you of like all the good stuff that you watched, because sometimes like even like with doing the show and with working in entertainment, people will ask me like what I'm watching, and it's almost like my brain freezes and it's like, I don't know, because it's like we watch so much that it's hard to remember. So it is kind of nice to have one night that celebrates all of it, and then you can just sit there and be like, oh yeah, like I loved that show and I loved this show and I loved this season. So what were some of the other titles that were nominated that you had tuned into and you really enjoyed?
So the number one for me was Severance. I adore Severance, and they had quite a few wins tonight, which I was really, really happy for. I think it was very, very well deserved. I would love to cover Severance Season 3 on the show here with y'all if anyone is interested, because I am obsessed with it. I watched Nobody Wants This. I know this was something you were into as well. Yeah. It was such a cute, like, little rom-com that felt so original and actually had a pretty deep story. Like, it was not surface level, and I adored it and can't wait for Season 2.
And did you hear, actually, they announced the premiere date of Season 2 today? Yeah. So that'll be back October 23rd. We, spoilers, usually do plan out our release slate a few months in advance, but we might have to make an exception for a couple things, including Nobody Wants This. Yeah, especially since we both loved it so much. And I'm also really excited to see where they take the story from here. So,
yeah. I've not seen all of Abbott Elementary, but I did start watching it this year. I really like it. Only Murders in the Building, of course. I did watch some of The Studio and really enjoyed what I saw. So, really happy for them on their wins. And then Black Mirror is something that I've always been into. And of course, Andor. Andor is also phenomenal.
I know you've told me before that I would really like it, so it's on my list. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that they were actually nominated for Best Outstanding Drama Series this year, which is a huge award. It's a big deal to see,
deserved.
Like something like, like Star Wars is I think a lot of times like fantasy and sci-fi don't really get the recognition they deserve on the main stage, especially stuff like this. We've talked about that in terms of actually recently on our other podcast, Millennial, we talked about the Lord of the Rings and how, everybody knew that this was an incredible trilogy, but the Oscars waited until the last installment to kind of give them their flowers, because it was almost like they gave them all the awards they meant to give them all along. So usually, sometimes it takes Hollywood a little bit of time to catch up with things. So it's nice to see something like Andor get nominated.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of the titles that you've been following?
So we, like you, I also have been loving Abbott Elementary still. I think that's a really great example of a show that like keeps getting better with every series as well. I don't know how far you are in, but yeah, I think the more I watch it, the more I enjoy it. And big fan of The Bear still. The Bear just had a new season that came out in June. And then also The Pit, which I think that I've mentioned in passing. And I believe that they're coming back in January. The Pit, oh my God, it's probably one of my favorite shows that I've seen in the last year, honestly. It's so, so good. And yeah, really excited for season 2. It was really nice to see them scoop up some bigger awards too, including Best Drama Series, which I kind of figured that they had in the bag. What happens similar to the Oscars is that they will do for like people that are in the Academy that vote, they'll send out screeners, or sometimes they will host screeners. And I heard through the grapevine that there were a lot of people that were trying to get in to the screening for the pit for voting
Ooh,
purposes.
okay.
And so, yeah, it had gotten a lot of buzz, and clearly it worked because they won big tonight.
So is that typically the indicator for who's going to do the best at these kinds of things? Sometimes it
can be. It's just like that, like the amount of interest that like was being put out into social media and into the internet kind of just made me have a feeling, in addition to the fact that the show is just so good, and has a great cast, that they were actually going to probably win big. So I thought that they were going to win a little bit more, but it was for a first year, they did great. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. Is this so I will admit here, I feel like I'm the only person on planet Earth who hasn't seen the pit yet, although I am going to be rectifying that because I hear nothing but good things from everyone, yourself included. Do you feel like this is a show that we would want to cover on What the Hype in the future, or is it too intense?
No,
I've heard it's
kind
intense.
Of it is, but I would still love to talk about it. I think that it would be interesting because I think our goal here is just to talk about things that we get excited about in general, but also to talk about like a variety of different things. So I think it would be interesting to kind of see how we could tackle a medical drama. Sometimes like I think the assumption is that you can only really sink your teeth in so far to something that isn't like sci-fi or fantasy, kind of something that's like exists in a richer world. But yeah, I think it would be fun to try. So yeah, we'll put it on our back burner.
Yeah, no, that would be fun. I think for me, the thing that kind of like, I don't know, when I first heard about the pit and I realized who was in the cast, I was like, wait, the guy from ER is doing another doctor
another
show.
Medical drama. Yeah.
But he cleaned up tonight too, right?
He did. Yeah. He won for best actor in a drama series.
Yeah.
And first time win too, which is crazy because Noah Wild's been around for a while. So yeah. Well, let's get into some of the big winners. Obviously, we talked about Severance and the Pit scooping up, a respectable amount of wins. But the big winner really here was The Studio, which I have also watched. This is an Apple TV Plus. I would consider it's a comedy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why I didn't think that this was going to win so much. And then it's because I forgot the cardinal rule that Hollywood loves to pat itself on the back.
That's true.
Yeah, and they do this with the Oscars too. Anytime there's a title that it's like, is this play about us? It's like almost like they're sitting there giggling, kicking their feet, and this thing ends up winning boatloads of awards. But in the case of The Studio, I will say that it's very well deserved because this show is so good, and as it should be, because Seth Rogen has been in the industry for a long time. I think he knows how to poke fun at some of the most like bombastic, most ridiculous parts of this industry, and it's done so well. Like if you really want an inside look at Hollywood and kind of how the sausage gets made, like obviously it's satire and some of it is exaggerated for comedic purposes, but it's pretty spot on. And
it's also bite-sized episodes too.
Yes.
Like you can roll through them very quickly. And there are genuinely, in the first episode, and that's kind of what kept me going, some genuine laugh out loud moments. And you don't even have to be someone who's like super in the know about Hollywood. It's very accessible in that way.
That's such a good point too. Yeah. But then like even down to the whole like, like we were joking about people getting up to accept awards and saying like, oh my God, like I didn't think I was going to win. I don't know who to thank. Like there's a whole episode dedicated to that. and to the
Yeah.
importance of being shouted out during award shows. And it's so well done. And it's so insane, but it's so good. So if you're looking for something to binge, like Laura said, these are bite-sized episodes. Like, I got to the end of season 1 and I was like, where's the next episode? Because it went so fast. So
Yeah. Tell me about Adolescence. This is another show that I have not seen yet, and I know I need to.
really,
Our friend Andrew brought this up on our other show, Millennial, I think 6 months ago or
yeah,
something. And I mean, my dad was even telling me, he was like, "Oh my God, it's so good. You have to watch it."
yeah.
Um,
So it's so funny because I think that I put down like adolescence under things that you had seen because I was like, surely Laura has seen this. And
no,
I guess you haven't. Yeah, this is so up your
no,
alley as a true crime girly. For anyone who doesn't know, Laura's really into true crime.
I really,
So,
really am.
so this show is on Netflix. It's a mini series or it's a limited series. It's British, and basically it revolves around the aftermath of a 13-year-old boy being accused of murdering a classmate. And the big kicker of the show, which is why I think it got a lot of attention right away, is that the show is all shot in one take. So that means that the camera never stops and it's constantly in motion, but there are no cuts. And the
That's
stake, I think it
impressive.
adds to the anxiety too, because it is so high stakes. It adds to the just like the anxiety of like the who done it, because there's just so many moving parts, and the fact that they were able to do it all in one take is really impressive. Acting is incredible too. The series' young star Owen Cooper is the youngest nominee this year at 15, and he scooped up the award for Best Supporting Actor in a limited series for the show. But yeah, I think that you would really, really like it.
Yeah, this is another one that's going on my list. Because yeah, definitely when you hear so much buzz about all these shows and everyone in your life is coming to you and being like, you have to watch this, it's so up your alley. It starts to get a little embarrassing when like months go by and they're like, "Oh, have you watched it yet?" And you're like, "No." So I got to get up to speed.
Yeah. But I think that most people are mood watchers too. So if you're just not in the mood
True.
yet, it's like, oh, I got to save that for later. I know I'm going to like this, but
Well, spooky season is here, so I feel like it's the perfect time for true crime.
there you go. Well, we're going to take another quick break here, but we will be right back to talk about a few more notable moments here at the 2025 Emmys.